I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we are talking to a woman who back in 1994 survived a horrific automobile accident that left her clinging for life. In fact, she was in a coma for 6 weeks. And after getting out of the hospital all that time later, of course, the struggle wasn't over. She sustained a traumatic brain injury. It affected her personal life and her professional life. But life, of course, is a comeback story, and Gillian Firth has made quite a comeback, and she has documented it in two books. One is called Gillian Mk2, and the other is called Typically Gillian. They're both written, of course, by Gillian Firth, and there's nothing typical about Gillian. She's a very unique individual, and we are delighted to have her here today on Spotlight on a very special day. It's her birthday. So happy birthday, Gillian.
Happy birthday!
Yay! Thank you very much. 57 Heinz varieties today. That's TV for you. And I don't look at you, have to say it's okay.
That's great. Well, congratulations. Like I said, it's been quite a journey over these 57 years. Back in 1994, you were thrown a curveball, and that's what your book centers on in part. Tell us a little bit about what happened and your injury and your progress since.
On interviews before, what I've likened a brain injury to is a computer. You have the screen and your keyboard, sledgehammer, smash the keys, and you're all scuppered. Now, I liken a brain injury to making a cake. As you go through schools, through kindergarten, primary school, blah, 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 get up to university age, you're collecting recipes, you're collecting ingredients all the way through life from people you see, people you talk to, things you do, blah, 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 yeah? You're just picking things up all the time, coming more into your little brain. So when you hit maturity and you're springing out on your own, all this information you've gathered, you utilize, and hopefully you build yourself your amazing gatto, because that's what you've been planning for your whole life. You've got the cherries, you've got the chocolate, you want to be that great big gatto. And what you get is a currant cake. And some people aren't happy with that. But I wanted a gatto, but I want a big gatto, but what I've got is this, but what I want is this. And some people can't settle with their current bun, aren't happy with. And that's when trouble starts, when you don't think about things, when you just take that for granted and you're, oh, easy peasy, it's all la la la. I can have whichever cake I want. I've got all the ingredients, nothing's stopping me. Got the cookbooks, got the lot. But sometimes, as you were talking about curveballs, yeah, sometimes somebody like kicks your cooker over or nicks your cherries or sits on your chocolate and oh no, and you've got to start all over again and make a cake that isn't anything like your gatto, isn't really a currant bun, but something in the middle that kind of passes and it's okay. That's life for you, isn't it? Eh? How did you start? Where did you start?
Where did I start? I started out like a typical kid in the suburbs of New York City, and life, of course, threw me some curveballs. I've never been into a horrific accident, fortunately, but there's always health issues that come along and different challenges that people have. And I one time heard a priest say, life is hard, and once you embrace the fact that life is hard, it becomes easier. I guess you kind of would agree with that, Gillian.
No, no, it's not life. It isn't hard or easy. It's what you make of your situation. As I was saying, we're all wanting the great big gatto. We want lots of money and fast cars, big houses, because it's all out there on TV. This is what you want. This is what you should aim for. This is what you should get. And even if you follow do all the right things, you get to university, you do your degree, blah, blah, blah. As I said, somebody kicks your cooker and nicks your ingredients, it all goes a bit stew whiff. Then you have to start again with what you've got, isn't it? Oh, I'm so greedy. I've got something to show you. Right? Life starts as a horror movie. Yeah, we're all in horror movies. Looks good, that isn't it? And then one day it's real.
Good God.
And you have to start. I'm so greedy. That was my first accident.
Right.
So, and then you start again, and you move on, and you get married.
Right.
And you're happy, hunky dory, and then again, with sunshine. Oh, have you seen? I've got to mention two people, my A team, Anne from Sweet Spire and Alice from your team Prime 7. They've both done fabulous work for me. They're lovely. I can't remember what I'm saying now. Anyway, I can't remember what I'm saying.
But
This is the
so
photograph.
this kind of
Oh,
happened to you when you were younger. That's a picture of you on your wedding day, perhaps?
yeah, that's the cover of the first original book.
Yeah,
First book, Gillian Mk2.
yeah.
Yeah, that was when it was all when you're all springy, young and bouncy and happy and la la la, taking life for granted, not thinking about things. That was then.
We never realize how attractive and wonderful we look when we're young. We're also critical of ourselves, but then you look back at those pictures years later and say, "Hey, I was kind of cute," and
Yeah, but
definitely.
now, oh, no, I missed the boat. Oh, I've got to tell you, when I was in the sixth form, when I was all springy and so lovely, went to the theatre, sixth form school trip, and we ended up in the theatre in London. Our school was sitting, there was a row of chairs, an aisle, chairs, an aisle, chairs on the ground floor, yeah. Stage down there.
Hmm.
Oliver Tobias was on stage Pirates of Penzance. The stage went blank, yeah. And before we'd sat down, my seat was right at the edge next to the aisle, and it was all lumpy. And I said to my little midget friend next to me, "Swap seats," and she went, "No." I was like, "Oh, swap seats," because she went, "No." So when I sat down, I had to stick my legs out into the aisle, yeah. So the screen goes blank, and then there's a big light behind us at the top of our aisle. Oliver Tobias is standing there, 6 foot like you, 6 foot, huge, 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 swashbuckling the lot. And I was like, oh, lovely. He stopped at me, picked my leg up, nearly kicked the woman in front of me in the head, stroked it and put it down. I turned to my friend and said to her, "Told you to swap seats." Didn't get washed for days, and nobody mentioned it. So I'm telling you now, right? Right? And I met Catherine Zeta-Jones. So you know, and not and all this time, look, and it's like it was meant to be. Here I am with you.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're
Blimey.
here with me today. I think your book offers hope to a lot of people, whether they
Apparently,
have had a curveball like you've had or not. I mean, like we said, life throws everybody curveballs. Some are faster, some are harder to hit than others. But you kind of broke it down in your book to three areas: strength, common sense, and inner voice. And what is that inner voice? Is that your spirit? Is that God talking to you? Is that you talking to yourself? Let's talk about that a little bit.
I don't know, but the inner voice tells you. It's like a bounce on to the year 2010. Inner voices, yeah. A friend of mine, I was really fed up in life. Sometimes life's very high, yeah. Other times, everybody has bits when they're like, "Oh no, this isn't good right now. I don't like it anymore." Well, it was one of those times, and a friend of mine, Faggus Lill, in the first book, said to me, "Go back to university." And I was like, "Yeah, but I can't read and I can't remember anything, and I'm really rubbish." And she went, So in 2010, by chance, I had a York St. John University in York prospectus in my hand. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why I was looking at it, but I was. And it told me there was a brand new creative writing degree starting the next year. I was like, do it in a voice. Do it, do it. So I told everybody, I was like, I'm going to go back to university. And be like, but you can't read, Julian, and your memory's rubbish, and you can't walk, and you're a bit crap, and you can't do. No, don't be silly. Gillian, if you go back to university, you'll waste all that money and you'll be really cross and you'll be really fed up with yourself and don't do it. And I was like, yeah, but well, oh, so I put it off for a little while. Take note of that, right? And then I just thought, well, hey, what have I got to do this creative writing degree? So I applied, and the UCAS people rang me up one day and said to me, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Yeah, yeah." She said, "You've got 4 unconditional offers. They all want you." I was like, oh, "Get out!" So do it, do it, do it in a voice. The first person I met at the university was disabled. Do it, do it, do it. the financial people that we met spoke for half an hour before they said to me, and my brother said, I've got a question for you people. Gillian's got a degree already. And they went, oh, well, she can't have anything then. And close the books. Half an hour. But still, so I did it. But the weird thing is, the first year I got an award from the university. Second year, I got a bigger award, national. And the third year, I got my degree and everything I've ever. I forgot what I was saying now. What was I talking about? Something
That's-
out me.
Degrees.
No, the degree.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, you are such a creative writer. I can see why it was recognized by the school. That's clear to see. Did you write differently before and after your accident, do you feel? Do you feel like in some ways your words are more inspired and more creative now?
I didn't write before my accident. If I wrote poetry here and there before my accident, just did. But the accident, the whole thing about life and being young and bouncing is that you don't think, you take life for granted. You don't think about what could happen if. You just don't, do you? Just do things and then cope with the consequences of your actions afterwards, right?
Yeah.
And the book, the consequences of my accident were that I was yeah, got the audience here. Yeah,
It's good you got your little fan club there.
Yeah, they're all helping me in the background, backseat drivers. Yeah,
That's great.
Oh, I tell you what, when Sweet Spire and all these people said to me, "You need to speak. I need to speak to you," and of course I do because you're lovely. I need to speak. They all said to me, "Are you going to wear? Have you got your dress sorted out?" I was like, "Yeah." Are you going to wear makeup? Like, yeah.
That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
know.
Are you working on any new books?
I don't know. Do you know what the biggest disappointment? I've done all this right at the beginning. I've told all the others about this. I self-published because the fourth publisher I sent the whole book to, the whole manuscript to, not the first chapter, the whole thing, said to me, "To be honest with you, Julian, unless you're a well-known name, you'll get nowhere." And then life and circumstances, I got fed up of self-publishing and doing it all on my own. So I asked Headway for help because I worked for them. I was involved with them. I thought, oh my goodness, a charity, especially for head injury, it's brilliant. And a reader had said to me, does Headway know about this? And so I joined Headway. They asked me to be on their entertainment committee. I was quite happy, backwards and forwards, making quizzes and photo shoots. Brilliant. It was a great thing. Like, being a teacher again, it was great. So I did all that, and then it came to 2002, and my parents and I were in London for the Headway AGM. Yeah, and they pay for all the charities. They pay for all the people to be there, their travel expenses, their accommodation expenses. So I had taken my book in the one of the breaks. I put my book in front of the chairman type person and said to him, I've done this all on my own. I'd like you to help me. I'd like you to, I know that you promote people's work, head injured work, yeah. I'd like your help. And he said, this man said, well, see about that. So a week later, I got all excited. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. So I rang them up. I got through to the personal assistant, the secretary, then spoke to the chairman, who said to me, what do you want? I said, I've written a book. He said, everybody's written a book. I said, oh, well, so I just rubbish on about this book and how fabulous and groovy it was, and everybody loves it, and people find it really helpful, and blah, blah, blah. And I'd like you to promote it, please. Put it in your publication. I know you do that. And then he said to me, usually they offer money. I wasn't listening. I was like, oh yeah, blah, blah, this book is it's brilliant, it's great, and I'm groovy, I'm so brilliant. Just yeah. And he said to me, Gillian, we've been talking for 20 minutes in circles now. And he put the phone down on me. Put the phone down on me. I was really sad about it. A week later, my dad died. And they didn't even acknowledge the check we sent them, didn't even say thanks. Just dagger in. I was really cross about that.
Yeah.
And because I just lost my dad,
right.
I wasn't concentrating on book or anything for a long time. And then the second book came out in 2008, And then I decided to not self-publish anymore, to to utilize the help of Author House. They got me, yeah. Like the sales teams, they're really brilliant and they're lovely people. They are. They do their work. They do their work well. And Author House persuaded me that I needed to give them both of my books so they could print them, and they did print them. And this is the very first copy of the book ever. The
Wonderful.
first self-published.
Yeah.
That's a self-published, right? Then we moved on to Author House, which sent me fabulous book. Oh, that's typical Gillian, self-published.
Nice.
And then, in the meantime, I got into trouble because I was so cross with the charity. I did that. Oops. They didn't like me very much. They accused me of theft at that point. At this point,
Crazy.
they dragged me into their fold, accused me of theft, and closed Headway York down.
Right.
Babies, complete babies. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Author House, that was the best thing I've got out of Author House. A bookmark.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it didn't do anything but mark. But the book itself from Author House was really nice, yeah?
Yep, very nice.
So that was a hardback book. I've got bits. I'm not going to read it to you. No, I haven't got any glasses. I'm not going to read it to you. You don't need. You've read it already.
I have. I loved it. In fact, we're almost out of time, Gillian. But do you want to have your fan club there come up and wish you a happy birthday next to you on camera, or do they want to stay?
Hey, Joe, come up here and wish your birthday or not. And these two books are the ones that count now.
How are you? Is it Joe?
Simon.
I'm Simon.
Hi, Simon. How are you?
Mate.
Thanks so much for helping out with Gillian today.
Yay!
Wanted to wish you guys a wonderful birthday celebration and a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful, terrific 2023 as well. The books are great. I hope people put them on their Christmas lists. They're Gillian Mk2 and typically Gillian.
Reading. You're going to have fun editing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been a delight talking to you, Gillian. Simon, thank you so much. And have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your birthday, okay, Gillian?
Thank you. I'm going to eat loads of cake now, people.
Sounds good.
And every Christmas present.
Christmas present, Gillian Mk2. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.